Thanks for tuning in to Steel City Football, the 4-1-2. It's a great day to be a Pittsburgh Steeler. Let's jump right in. The Pittsburgh Steelers have some major problems. And the major problem is injuries. Let's jump into this issue. Right now, Jono Smith, injured, missed practice recently, knee injury. Calvin Austin III, missed practice due to a minor abdominal muscle injury. Darius Slay exited practice early with an ankle injury. Will Howard hasn't been ruled out for the final preseason game, but is dealing with a hand injury. Corey Trice Jr. injured his hamstring during practice. Calvin Anderson dealing with an undisclosed injury described as more than day-to-day. Alex Highsmith expected to be sidelined for a few days with a groin injury. Joey Porter Jr. participated in practice as limited participant while working through a hand injury. Then we had Nick Herbig. He had a hamstring injury the other night in the preseason game. This is a major problem. And this problem stems from your strength and conditioning coach and program. It all goes back to your strength and conditioning coach. Let me ask you a question. We all remember James Harrison. Do you know why he's so durable? Do you know why he didn't get hurt? Because if you're on the field and you play 100 miles an hour, you can't be in the weight room doing cable crossovers and flies and leg extensions. Now, I'm not saying that I know exactly what goes on in the Pittsburgh Steelers weight room because obviously I'm not there, but you cannot have all these soft tissue injuries and not blame the strength and conditioning coach. You can't be playing 100 miles an hour on the field, but then in the weight room, you're taking it easy. You have to be pushed to the maximum in the weight room also. You know, I love this theory, and I hear it a lot from football players. It's like, oh, this isn't powerlifting, this is football. But here's the problem. When you're on the field and you're you're going on every single play, you're giving 100% maximal effort. So in the weight room, you have to give maximal effort or you're not durable. Like, look, James Harrison, he's the prime example of this. And for everybody that says strength doesn't matter, this isn't powerlifting, James Harrison had one move basically rushing the passer. Why do you think he was the most feared man in the league? You know why? Because of how strong he was. If he wasn't as strong as he was, he wouldn't have been as good as a player. So it doesn't matter what position you play. You need to be strong. And right now, the way it looks, the Pittsburgh Steelers strength and conditioning, the coaches are the program is failing them. You know, rest in peace. God rest his soul. Louis Simmons. He's the originator and longtime owner of WestSide Barbell. He's no longer here. He died recently. Tom Barry has taken over for Louis Simmons to carry on the traditions of WestSide Barbell. The Pittsburgh Steelers need to hire Tom Barry. I guarantee you, if the Pittsburgh Steelers hire Tom Barry to take over their strength and conditioning coach, 95% of these injuries will go away. You can't, a broken finger, it's one thing. You know, Will Howard has a broken finger. You break a finger, that's different. But all these soft tissue injuries, hamstrings, calves, abdominals, that is all the strength and conditioning coach's fault. That's from taking it easy in the weight room. You know, I don't like to be arrogant and brag and talk about myself. I'm not here to talk about myself. I'm here to talk about the Pittsburgh Steelers. But I have used the conjugate method, drug-free, steroid-free. And I'm telling you right now, it makes you super strong. So the Pittsburgh Steelers need to hire Tom Barry. The strength and conditioning coach right now, Phil Matus, I don't know what's going on in the weight room, but these injuries, everybody will blame Coach Tomlin. This is not Coach Tomlin. This is a strength and conditioning issue, and it's a major problem for the Pittsburgh Steelers. The type of training that goes on at WestSide Barbell with the reverse hypers, the inverse curls, the glute ham raises, we will get rid of all these hamstring injuries, all these ACL problems, all these soft tissue injuries. I want you to watch this promo from WestSide versus the world, and I want you to see the type of edge. You know, in the NFL, there's so much talent. But if you can get this much of an edge for your team, that much is the difference between winning a Super Bowl and not winning a Super Bowl. So let's jump into this video and I'll go from there.
You must choose between the ball and the sword. And if you choose the sword, you will join me in a destiny to hell. And that's what this gym is, a journey into hell.
That's Louis.
There's not a powerlifter on the planet that doesn't know the name WestSide Barbell.
If you go to a meet and you see the WestSide crew, you know this shit just got real because their names were on all the records.
It was like it said federal penitentiary on the side. They took all the bars off and opened the doors. It was almost worse because they could leave and come back.
Yeah, it got kind of violent in there. I kept thinking, well, they're going to all start fighting here in a minute.
I know a lot of nice guys until you get into a cage with them.
He was going to come after you. He was going to rip you apart.
This day fucking pisses me because I can't compete. I'm in the middle of heaven and hell.
I'd never been pushed like that before, in anything.
They dragged me out of the hospital and made me max out with a hole in my throat and my leg in a cast.
You're not going to come in there and take from that place and not give anything.
You mess up. It's a life or death situation.
We're fucking thoroughbred horses. If we break our leg, take us out back and fucking shoot us.
If you don't want to die to do this, you shouldn't do this.
That board at WestSide's everything.
We broke over 140 world records, and it has to continue.
As much as I'm trying to sit here and tell you that I love Louis Simmons, this is going to turn into me being the ultimate heel and saying that I fucking hate him.
I look at Lou as the Bobby Knight of powerlifting. He doesn't say one thing that's good. Because why the fuck focus on the good shit?
They walk out of here on hard ground, and they walk straight into quicksand.
WestSide was Everest. What the fuck do you do after Everest?
You come up with something new and crazy and different, the first thing people's going to do is deny it.
If you're afraid to fail, you'll never succeed.
He's changing the sport.
Looking back on it, it's like, well, what was the positive quality of all of it? I don't know. But we all got stronger.
Why would somebody not like WestSide Barbell?
You know, people popped up in the 2000s. They only hated since then.
It was like the good guys and the bad guys. We're the bad guys, no doubt.
Where in the fuck is WestSide Barbell? Where is Louis Simmons?
You need to come challenge the king.
WestSide Barbell and Louis Simmons changed powerlifting. And whether you liked it or not, it happened.
So you get an idea of what we do here at WestSide.
That's powerlifting history. You don't train WestSide until you're in WestSide.
I think WestSide Barbell is what it's supposed to be. It's an animal.
Before WestSide Barbell, there was never a WestSide. And after WestSide, there'll never be a WestSide.
Put that in this fucking documentary.
Jack Sawyer, he's the hometown kid from Ohio. They call him 5-star. I guarantee you he uses this training method. I guarantee you he knows all about WestSide Barbell. I guarantee he uses the conjugate method. I guarantee he would fully sign off on Tom Barry and WestSide Barbell training the Pittsburgh Steelers. This is exactly what the Pittsburgh Steelers need. There's no arguments about this. This is the difference between playing with an edge and winning the Super Bowl or having 30 guys on the sideline that can't play football. And with that being said, thanks for tuning in to Steel City Football, the 4-1-2.